If we as human beings want to feel whole and fully alive, then we need to tend to every aspect of our health as individuals. In my view, this includes, amongst other things, our mental health, emotional health, physical health, spiritual health, and our sexual health. If any of these areas are suboptimal, then the overall health and happiness of the individual will be compromised. A healthy person who wishes to remain whole will therefore tend to each of these facets of health and guard against anything that threatens to diminish them in the long term. A marriage where both partners are looking after themselves in this holistic way is far more exciting and more fulfilling than one in which one or both partners are not. If one spouse diligently takes care of their physical health whilst the other doesn't, then friction will inevitably occur. The same can be said for our mental health, our emotional health, our spiritual health, and the often ignored aspect of health that I'm going to focus on in this video, our sexual health. And by sexual health, I mean sexual well-being, which incorporates body, mind, and spirit. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about the benefits of a marriage in which both partners protect, nurture, celebrate, and explore with each other their individual sexual natures. Think of it as an advert in which I extol the virtues of a sexually adventurous marriage, and please go ahead and share it with those you feel are not yet convinced. Hi, I'm Laura and I'm a counsellor in the UK. If you're new to the channel, welcome. It's lovely to have you. Before we begin, as this is a challenging topic for some, let me be clear that this video only applies to marriages in which both partners feel safe, seen and valued and are physically and emotionally able to be sexual. If this is not the case for you, then this is not the video for you. An integrated person has a positive relationship with their sexuality. They know it's something that needs to be incorporated into their day-to-day lives in a healthy way. It's accepted as an interesting, creative, and powerful part of their nature. They embrace it and feel free to express it without shame. These finely attuned individuals will notice when their sexual energy drops. They'll be interested in the cause and will work proactively towards its recovery. Not because of pressure or coercion from their spouse, but because they understand that it's a vital aspect of their own and their relationship's well-being that requires focused attention and care. There will obviously be periods of life where sex inevitably takes a back seat, such as after the birth of a child or during periods of extreme stress, grief, or trauma. These are not sexy eras, of course, and a loving partner will be patient and supportive. But just as a dedicated athlete will return to training after a period of injury, so too will a vigilant person who has lost their sexual sparkle go on a mission to revive it. Unfortunately, however, our culture has developed a somewhat flippant or perhaps downright negative view of human sexuality. Many even seem to hold the belief that sexual vitality is something that can be neglected or abandoned without consequence, even in a loving marriage. I find this incredibly interesting. I would argue that if you have a negative relationship with your own or your partner's sexuality, then something within yourself or your relationship needs serious attention, particularly if you are married to a generally good spouse who takes this side of themselves seriously. This kind of individual dysfunction or relational misalignment all too frequently destroys otherwise healthy marriages. This is no different to the also all too common scenario in which one spouse is emotionally attuned, vibrant and alive, having to endure life with a partner who is distant, detached and disinterested. Something will eventually break. So, my invitation to you today is to consider where you are in terms of your own sexual health and well-being, and to consider the very real benefits of keeping sex and sexiness well and truly on the table, so to speak, as a loving gift to yourself and to your marriage. A sexually healthy marriage is also a fundamentally courageous marriage. Both spouses will have learned to embrace vulnerabilities, challenge inhibitions, and develop a fearless capacity to engage in challenging conversations with honesty and clarity. They'll support each other to overcome body issues, insecurities, and heal sexual and psychosexual wounds. These strengths also inevitably ripple out into almost every other area of life with positive effect. By encouraging each other to develop deeper levels of self-acceptance and self-esteem, they'll both become more empowered individuals. They'll enjoy a greater sense of control and autonomy around their own needs and will experience more positive self-perception through feeling desired, enjoyed, and accepted by their spouse. Sexual marriages are also adventurous in nature because both partners will be participating in an exciting and playful journey in which they're able to share and experience fantasies, explore new desires, and break mundane routines. This freedom sets couples like this well and truly apart from the norm. These creative and intentional marriages are therefore stronger and less vulnerable to infidelity. Both partners will experience greater feelings of fulfillment along with a sense of confidence and pride in the fact that they're taking care of this side of the marriage. As a result, they'll feel closer, more trusting, and more positive about each other and about the quality of their marriage. In a sexual marriage, both spouses are saying a resounding yes to life and thus have a more positive affinity with life. By developing a deeper sexual and, dare I say it, spiritual connection with each other, they'll experience greater feelings of intimacy and aliveness. These marriages are almost certainly filled with more joy, connection, excitement, and laughter than their sexually dull or dead counterparts. As an added bonus, sexually active people also have better immunity, lower blood pressure, less risk of heart disease and stroke, better cognitive function, sleep better, and live longer. So, knowing all this, who in their right mind wouldn't want to nurture and encourage all that colourful potential for their partners, for their own life, and for their marriage? Developing and maintaining a sex-positive attitude is important for the quality of not only our marriages, but also every other aspect of our health as human beings. To develop this sexual positivity, some of us will need to embark on a journey if we haven't yet done so. Perhaps a journey of healing, increased awareness, of analysis, and of self-acceptance. We might have to ask ourselves why we feel so negatively about this aspect of our nature. We might have to address our own hang-ups or deal with past negative sexual experiences. We might have to consider what the people around us taught us to think about sex. We might also have to question the cultural narrative around what sex in marriage really looks like and have the courage to create something entirely different for ourselves. So come on, if you aren't functioning optimally in the sexual arena, embark on a mission, have the adventure of a lifetime and dare to recover and embrace this aspect of who you are. If your spouse is more sexually driven than you are, which is perfectly normal, then try to avoid the temptation to minimize or reject this important and healthy aspect of their character. Be interested, lean in, and have the courage to start a new conversation. Or if your partner is struggling in this way, invite them with love and compassion to come on a journey with you. Read a book together, go to therapy, or enroll on a course. If there's something going on for you as a couple that's preventing you from being together sexually, then address this particular roadblock as a matter of urgency. Do whatever you need to do to reclaim this beautiful, powerful, and creative aspect of your lives together. The benefits will be significant and far-reaching, I promise. I'm not saying this journey will be easy, not at all, but it will be meaningful and it will certainly change your life for the better if you can persevere. Seek professional help from a sex-positive practitioner if you need to. What have you really got to lose? If you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you did, then you might also enjoy this one where I talk about how to restart your sex life. Let me know what you think in the comments and consider subscribing if you enjoy these kinds of conversations. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. In the meantime, to yourself and to others, tell the truth.